council meeting for June 9th, 2026. I'm calling the meeting to order. This time, David, you might have the invitation.
Sure. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the opportunity to come and do the business of the town of Fairview. Just help us as we make decisions so that we're looking towards our constituents and doing things in their favor. We just lift up these prayers in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Lord, join me in pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4, the agenda changes. Do we any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I need a motion for approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda as printed in our packet.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the agenda, please show up with the names. That's unanimous. Okay, up next on the item is the approval of the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as printed.
Okay, second, any discussion? All in favor of the names? Thanks. Okay, any public comments?
No.
Moving right along. Any presentations?
No.
Okay, if you go to page 2 on your packet, you will see items of business. Okay, we're down to the big highlight of life, the 8A, the minutes of the oath, Jim King, and the town administrator, at Thomas Town Clerk. So, Jim first.
You come stand beside me. Before I do this, most of you have heard that, or been heard that this is going to be my last meeting. I think we are very fortunate to have this young man to, it's not take my place, to carry the torch onward. I think you'll enjoy him as years go by. And I just want to say I appreciate all you've done for me and all the pleasures I've had working for you. With this opportunity, I want to swear in Jim as the last thing of his training. I'll swear him in. Let's look at that. Hold your left hand with the Bible. Left hand on the Bible. Other lip.
It's too late for a vote. We found out he's dyslexic.
This is the oath of office. Would you read it, please?
Sure. I, James King, do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, non-inconsistent therewithin, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as town administrator for the town of Fairview. So help me God.
Okay, now we'll have the,
I think there's another one you want to do.
Reese will be doing the oath office for
Good job,
Thomas.
sir.
Town Clerk. You're on oath.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait for you.
Yes,
I, Spencer Thomas, do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as town clerk for the town of Fairview. So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're in good hands. She's got it. She knows what to do.
I know Teresa's phone number.
Before I go any further, Phil Thompson, is he hiding back there somewhere? I just can't see him. What are you here?
I think you left.
We were going to discuss budget. He said, I'm not.
Speaking of budgets, this is 8B, we need to discuss and approve the budget amendment 2 for the 2025-2026 budget. And Darryl would like to do that.
Yeah, if you look on page 18, that's the ordinance amending the budget, going from revenues of 539,362 up to 599,162. And if you flip over to page 20, there's a little description there of why we're making the budget changes. Basically, it boils down to we had higher payroll and legal expenses. That's why we had to increase our fund balance appropriated. And then investment income was a little bit more than forecast just because of higher interest rates. And previously we didn't budget the donations and summer camp fees. So that's $16,000 there. We also didn't budget the HVAC units in the office rooms. I think we got some donations to help with that, but that's an item. And then the festival expense ended up being quite a bit higher than what we estimated. Is $12,500 budget estimate or budget change there. And then the internet and website, I think we had some additional computers and various repair fees and consulting for Spencer and for Jim. So that's an additional budget amount there. And then, of course, the big item is in making a lawsuit. Increased our budget there about $35,000. And let's see, I'd previously done a budget amendment for the payroll expenses and also for, I think, maybe some other capital budget items. So I actually had to reduce that amount. So those are the reasons for the changes or for the budget amendments. So any questions?
Not a budget question, but it's under the understanding that the North Carolina League was going to cover our legal expenses on that situation. Is that correct? Understanding that?
There's a deductible, and I'm thinking it's $10,000.
Around 10,000.
Yeah, we have to pay that deductible.
Okay.
But of course, this is Melanie's time.
Right.
Is what this is.
Okay.
But there is a deductible on the legal firm that represents us for the insurance.
Now, that being said, if the main thing is if they ever make a decision on the contempt and everything, that was part of the contempt process that he would be forced to pay our legal fees for that portion of what she handled. That may never come to fruition, so we may get some of that money back.
So the 50 is the budget, not the actual cost.
Well, the actual cost is, it's right 45 right now.
Okay.
I don't know, she didn't bill us that much for, last month, it was only like $82, but I don't know what June's gonna be.
Do we do this amendment again based on what happens in June?
No, this is it,
This is it?
because it's the final meeting of this year.
Okay, so whatever difference June ends up, we just let that.
Well, I tried to do the budget amendment based on what I knew was coming for the rest of the month.
Yeah,
So hopefully it should be pretty close. I can always transfer money between line items. I can do that. So
Yep.
the last few years, we haven't had any budget variances, but hopefully it'll be okay.
you got a crystal ball, huh?
Well, yeah, I
That's pretty
had
good.
to pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so if I understand this correctly, with that being said, I need a motion to approve the budget amendment 2 for 2025-2026 budget. Is that correct?
That's right.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Let you. I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the 2025-2026 budget as presented.
Any second?
I second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, vote. Okay, then we're back to stay with Gerald. We need to discuss proposed 2026-2027 calendar book.
You may want to go ahead and open the public hearing now.
What?
Open the public hearing now. So his explanations will be in the public hearing.
Okay, so I need a motion, plus I need to,
No.
You just need to open it.
okay, at this point in time, I'll open up the public hearing concerning the 2026-2027 calendar
Let him explain.
budget. Okay.
Okay, on page 23, we've got the ordinance, budget ordinance for 26-27. As we talked about before, we're going from a 2-cent tax rate to a 4-cent tax rate per $100 valuation. Primary reason being, we kind of experienced a shortfall the last couple of years related to the legal expenses related to making a lawsuit for one, some capital expenditures related to the park, and then also this year with double salaries, doing the training of Spencer and Jim. So we kind of need to make that up. Plus, we're wanting to do some capital improvements for the amphitheater. So that's the reasons for going from 2 cents to 4 cents. And if you look over on page 24, you can see the various line items. Total income $801,730, and same for expense. The major items being the ad valorem taxes is forecast to bring in about $375,000. We are pulling about $143,000 from our fund balance. And to mention one thing, on our cash balance, we're at about $13,000 right now in our cash checking account. We still have that capital management trust, which is 500 and some odd thousand, about 528,000. So we're going to have to transfer money from the capital management to our checking account here in the next month, because the ad valorem taxes, and most of them are not going to be collected until October, November, December. So we're going to may have a little bit of a timing issue there when we actually get the money in. Now we will receive franchise taxes from the state, sales taxes from the state, so various things, and zoning fees, but the majority of our income will probably come during the fourth quarter. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then on the expense side, we've got the big item being capital outlay for the park, $250,000 is out there for that.
So how much money will we have to move out of savings to cover the expenses this year?
I was thinking, well, I was gonna move about 250,000. That would leave, 275.
275.
Yeah.
We're getting real close to that
Yeah. So we got
tipping point.
right.
Well, that's the reason we're raising taxes. The fund balance we'll take care of that for the next year.
It's still gonna be tight though.
Yeah, it's still gonna be tight.
Because we're spending some money on capital expenditures too. After that, I think you need to look at, you're right, building up the fund balance a little bit.
And the only way to do that is with expenses.
Well, no, the tax increase will help this year in your cash.
Well, 250,000 of our 800,000 is going to capital expenditures.
Yeah.
If we get through that, and if we don't have any significant ones, then we've got appropriated to pull out of savings next year, 143
Right.
out of existing funds. So if we,
Should be able to build it back up.
going forward, that gives us about 100,000 is really where we're operating at, 100,000 net to the positive without capital expenditures.
Correct.
And I think we've always set 200 as a floor for the fund balance.
Two or
We
three.
raised that to 3,
We raised it to 3 a couple of years ago.
and then it probably should be 5. So that's a goal.
Your taxes, the taxes revenue for this coming fiscal year, does that include the 4 cent?
Yeah, it does.
So 375 is with the 4.
That's right.
And the 250, is that, you remind me, is that specifically, do we have that?
That's for the amphitheater and the laser.
And Darryl, my understanding is you've got fund balance appropriated as a plus, so that's
That's pulling it out of savings.
Pulling it out of existing funds.
I mean, that's, 143 coming right out of your savings.
Right.
Period.
so if it was a minus there, it would be adding 2.
Be going into savings.
How many more capital outlays? Do we still owe anything on the land?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's 52,000.
A year.
That's the debt payment.
So we have
That's a debt repayment.
350,000. Where's that?
How many more years we got on that?
About 5.
No, more than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably
I thought it was
10.
close to 10.
Yeah, that,
If we
we've
went-
been right at it for 10 years, dude.
It's 15.
15.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right.
With that being said, though, I guess, and I understand what you're saying, but that 250, that's kind of like a wish list. So if we get to where we don't think it's not gonna happen,
Just don't spend it.
just don't spend it, correct?
Yeah, I just think we're getting,
On,
we're getting a little tight, so
Oh,
we
yeah,
just gotta be
I'm-
cautious on these expenses.
Oh, yeah, I'm not denying that, but I guess, if it makes you feel any better, I don't know, briefly, right now, the numbers that I'm hearing, and Jim and Ed can probably correct me, is, when looking at expenditures, and I think that 250 was based upon what we were talking to, Vanessa and all that, there's, the amphitheater down at Oak Island, buy a kit, that kit for that was like $60-some thousand for the kit. And then you got to probably cost about that same amount as of right now to do it, so we're talking 120-some thousand. And then permitting and all that stuff, so the bottom line is, if you think it's gonna be a handicap for the town, we just don't do it. But with that being said, and just refresh your memory is, I spoke to Fernando up here, the steel guys, months and months ago, and he told me at that time that he and his family wanted to do something with Fairview. The people he works for, he only works for one steel guy. He says, I think I might be able to talk them into doing, we have designers and stuff, designing whatever they come up with. Just to refresh your memory, who's been in the bowl at Valentine? The amphitheater there. They built that. What they got there is far exceeds anything we could probably ever do, but they built that. So with that being said, then he said he would sell us the steel at his cost, and then he would put it up for free, Fernando. And then Ed's brought up a couple of things we need to be concerned about is Fernando does not have a contractor's license, but his cousin does. So whatever that's worth. So before we go proceed anything with him, we'd have to talk about that. But I called Fernando week before last and find out and ask him about it. Because I hadn't heard it, I left him message, I hadn't heard anything. Well, I finally got up with him, and he said that right now, they still want to be involved with it, and they came up and gave them a figure. We got sales to the designer, about $170,000 for them to do the design and all that stuff to build the amphitheater. And they still would do the install. That didn't include the price of the steel. So what he told me, he wants to meet with whoever wants to meet with him, maybe sometime in the near future, is that he says, and I'm not that familiar with it, but the guy that he works for owes him $2 million in change orders. So he said, rather than you pay me for the change orders, you just turn that over into steel and design. And did you follow that? That's something he's got to talk to. He's got to talk to
That's
him.
not skeptical look.
Yes.
That's what that is.
So, but I'm just saying, so he's gonna talk to him, and then said, if he can get him to agree to do that, I'll still put it up. So that, he said, that's just something that could happen, may not happen, but it's just something we need to be thinking about. If it should happen, it may make our situation better. If it would, he wants to talk to us and find out, he was gonna approach the president of the company and see if he would agree to do something like that, so.
I mean, the way I look at it is, you strip out the fund balance appropriated from your revenue or your income, you've got $658,000 of what you're taking in. And if you strip out the $250 from the park, the capital outlay for the park, you got $551 in expenses. You got $107,000 in profit. So whatever you spend above $100,000 towards the park is what you're gonna have to really dig into your fund balance. Because the other expenses are pretty set.
Oh, with that being said, and I understand, my question would be is, consider, do we want to think about Find how this all plays out, take the 250 out and do what you're saying, and then come back, if it works out with him, or if it works out, whatever, we amend the budget to come back and do it and take that out now, so we are attaining that 500,000.
I think you can leave it like it is, just watch it.
It was just
We just don't need to pull it out until we need it.
Right, it'll flow through.
If you don't spend it, it goes into fund balance.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, the next step would be, Jim and John Wood, that you've authorized him to, okay, get all the prices, go to bid and see what it would cost us to finish the electrical and the amphitheater. That then comes to you and you decide. If it's too much or whatever, but, after the bid process. Fernando could be a bidder if he got his cousin to bid on it and he was qualified. But it would still have to be, worked out with the general contractor to what Fernando does, and we wouldn't be involved in that. So
That's where that accountability comes into play.
Right.
And we can also pursue local businesses to put their name on things
sure can, especially,
and reduce our costs that way,
oh yeah,
reduce our costs that way, or get them to fund some of it too.
we're expecting checks in the mail.
Yeah.
They got any,
Right,
but we,
We gotta ask for them.
yes.
yeah, we have to ask for them, and I don't know what that looks like at a town level. I've never been involved with anything like that, but put the word out.
And there may be some contractor that would like to add what he does to the project. He just deals with the
Right,
contractor,
sure,
our costs go down, and
Yep.
and we recognize that part.
So let me ask this question. Would it be something to consider if this thing with Fernando would work out, and John hasn't been working, it's not working for free. If it would work out with Fernando, something to think of, well, could we come back and pay him for what he did up to that point in time, whatever that cost was to set up?
We're gonna pay John no matter what, right?
That's right.
That's a consulting fee.
I think that
Yeah,
the only problem I see with all that is generally, if there's gonna be a general contractor taking responsibility for everything, warranty and everything, they generally don't like to carve stuff out. It just muddies their water. Now, it might be something that they could clearly delineate, that we have no responsibility for that, that's what we're wanting. And if that's the case, maybe, but I'm thinking steel erection on a bigger project,
Well, I
that's
guess-
gonna have to go through a GC.
Well, I guess,
Yeah.
from my perspective, do we want to just drop the conversation with Fernando, or just let him hear what he has to say?
With cart before the horse, I mean, let's get the plans back, all that back and see what the work looks
And I
like.
think you're paying John to do a lot of that.
Yeah,
John is getting the quotes from, so he can deal directly
Yeah.
with Fernando and his company also. So I would let John handle it,
Yeah.
because it then comes to you.
Well, I just want to clarify that somebody, and I don't know if it was Spencer, Teresa's, what John sent in for as the kit and all that stuff was not what we really wanted. Is that correct? Did I hear that correct?
On the quote that he sent in, it had a different illustration on there. And I emailed him and I said, look, the illustration that the board had voted on was basically a whole different amphitheater. And he responded that he had just stuck that picture in there just as a general illustration, but he understood that they were looking for something a little bit different.
Yeah, he already has the one that
So
we,
that price is still a good price. He's talking about.
well, all these prices, his work.
I know, but the price that, that's what I'm asking, with this 250 number is based upon what we told him we wanted.
That's a
That's a
ballpark number.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but if that 250 included what we thought.
yeah,
We hope so.
We don't know, we want to be,
right.
we
We
want to
knew
be
the
sure.
amphitheater was gonna cost up around 60, 70, and it was gonna, They don't put it up, they just deliver the kit to you, then the contractor comes in and takes the kit, puts it up. And that was another 60 or.
Yeah.
So right at $150,000 for the, athlete.
Well, so I just want to be sure though, we're getting apples for apples on.
Yeah.
Where's the kid come from?
Uh,
Company up in
Greensburg.
Where?
Company in Greensburg.
And then I just deviated here, so I'll get back on track. So at this point in time, where are we in the?
Well, I just hit the high points. I don't know, anything you got a question about?
This doesn't relate to the budget, although it made me think of something that was in the financials. There's work in progress still in there on like the balance sheet. Is that, how long will that be work in progress or what is that?
Yeah, I think last year we had work in progress for the work that was being done on the amphitheater design for the concrete and all that stuff. So
So we're gonna leave it there until we get the rest of it done, is my question.
Well, no, probably when we get the audit done, they'll move that to fixed assets since it's pretty much been finished.
Yeah,
The only
I mean,
thing-
it's in fixed asset. I just wondered,
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure
that's already been spent.
oh, no, I knew that. I'm just saying it, just calling it something different was my question.
So it'll get put into
It'll-
land improvements. or
Land
something like that.
improvement, okay.
Any other questions for Daryl or Ed or in regards to the budget? I mean, at that point in time, I guess if there is, we're gonna ask the questions now. If not, then we,
Ask the public for their comments.
public, do you have any comments?
The, enforcement that we talked about, Jim taking over, is that come out of the budget? Or
Right now, we got $10,000 in there for that.
that's the zoning administration?
Right.
Okay. And so we're hoping that might be a savings.
Right.
Okay.
So we have no public comments, is that correct? So at this point in time,
I got some more questions though.
okay, I'm sorry.
No, I was just thinking through things. So the revenue that we get from the rent of the house, you showing that at about 18.5?
That includes revenue from the house, also includes land rent, that type of thing.
We agreed to any revenue that the park generates, we put into a park fund.
So, but I'm comparing that, so it's the rent, which part of that is the house rental
Right.
versus the repairs is 41.
Yes.
I mean, at some point in time, is it, if you're spending, and I don't know, who might not spend 41, I understand that. It just depends on what happens. But you're spending $20,000 in round numbers, more a year on repairs.
The
Is that-
41,000 is park
I can't,
salaries.
well, I need lines.
Yeah, sorry, it's park salaries. The rental house repairs. is
Oh,
only
okay, so
1,000.
rental house, oh, it's only 1,000, okay, never mind, don't worry, good, we're good shape. I was panicking on that.
John, there could be a time when that
I
might
need a
be approved.
ruler.
Remember what Alex said about Ed? That was the line right there.
Just had me panic there, I thought, good grief.
Jim, that's a sign, these people are getting older, make that a little bigger. No, that's you make it a little bigger.
Put
So he does, you do.
Put lines on it.
Put lines on it.
I feel better now, never mind.
So while he's looking for that, I have another Michael Macon question. So roughly, we've spent $45,000 because of that whole bond.
45.
If he's about to sell that land, which is what's being floated around,
He's advertising. Got a sign on
well, here's my point. Can we propose to the judge that our reimbursement comes out of the sale of that land, those funds, force him, otherwise we'll never see a penny out of that, in my opinion.
it. That is correct. I think that's what's going
I know,
on. I think it's, that's an attorney question. That's right, this law will accept only services. But I don't think so. But that's sure, we could sure ask him.
We put a lien on it?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
You can put a lien on?
Well, if the judge, well, he's already
Would it have to go
stated,
through
but
court?
that was a set amount
Or
for
is it
loan
part
of
of our
$4,000 that we were asking for. But we spent 45,000. Why do we not have 45,000 in there instead of 4,007 or 800? I don't know where that number came from.
Well,
We're just outlaying a load of money, and I'm looking to get it back, that's all I'm saying.
Is that 45,000 all the Macon thing?
Well, no, just part of it.
Part, yeah.
Okay.
Melanie's total fees are in that.
Right.
So whatever she did otherwise besides making is, I'm gonna
Yeah.
split.
It's not all make it. It's,
Not all Macon.
So it's not all.
No.
Okay. But whatever that all is, we need to be asking for that.
don't think it's in our ordinance that we can attach a lien, I don't think. It may be some kind of state law, but she would know about it and we'll continue that process. It could be in our new ordinance, that we record a lien. I know you can on yard, if you don't cut your grass and that type of thing, or redundant type things, you could attach liens on, but I'm
A
not
couple
real
of
sure.
neighbors, can we find them?
Mhm. Sure can.
But we'll certainly ask her.
The only problem with the lien though is if it takes them 20 years to sell that property, you got to wait 20 years to get that money.
20 years is better than zero.
That's true too. And it also depends what type of lien it is and where it falls, if there's other liens against the property. Because depending on again, the type of lien, some liens are prioritized over others and
IRS.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
After
we'll be
Uncle Sam
down.
gets his money, anybody
I
else
know. It's more of a statement than it is.
But we did, I took him down to the bridge the other day, and Jim, and he saw the bridge, and we walked back, and so he knows the story, so. But it is for sale.
So there's a sign.
It is.
can. 875,000.
He paid 200 for it. Holy cow. Who's gonna pay 875,000 for a property you can't access?
Your developers have called us, and
Yeah.
they said, well, this sounds pretty cheap, what's the problem?
Can't get to it.
The problem, there's just
It's the process and cost you have to
there is
go
a
through.
process of the process we took him to court for. In other words, there's a bridge in the creek, he's got to move, or somebody's got to move. Or get permission to have it there.
And then a 400-foot bridge.
And then he's gonna have 400, well, how much is that gonna cost me? I said, I'm guessing $500,000.
Well, the sale price they
400-foot
have,
bridge.
the sale price they have online, it says that he will graciously, well, paraphrasing, give you what he's done on the Clomar and everything. He'll let whoever buys it have that.
Now, whether the state will take that or not is a different story.
Yeah.
And we hadn't verified that.
They're on back on the budget, the cumulative rent reserve,
Yeah.
can we use that?
Well, we set that up as part of equity. I don't know if that's really cash that you can use. I need to talk to Neil about how to pull that out of there. It's supposedly for park improvements that we can use to.
That's what I'm thinking, I mean, it's not gonna help us cash flow wise, because it's the same
Right.
cash, but it could make our income statement look a little better.
What you did was you restricted those funds.
Right.
Now, you can unrestrict them too.
Well, if it's restricted to use for park
But it's not
improvements, how?
stated, well, it's something that y'all wanted to do and you can do. But I'm saying it's not a state restriction or a mandated restriction per contract. It was just something the council did.
Well, no, I meant use
okay.
it for park improvements.
You're right.
In lieu of the 250,
Oh,
in
you
lieu of
can
the
do that.
149, we're gonna
You
pull
can
out
do
of our existing.
Right.
But I mean, it's
appropriated.
really just an income statement, it's really just window dressing, but
That's right.
we don't really need it sitting there.
That's just
So-
appropriated funds, so it reduces your fund balance.
Yeah, and it's for its stated purpose, why don't we just use that and reduce that 250?
We'll do that.
It's 49,000.
That's-
46,
Ding, ding,
46,
ding. When John said over 100, there's
47,000.
Gary just rang that bell.
Accumulated over, what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
probably?
But still, yeah.
So yeah, we can do that.
We elected you.
Window dressing.
I'll ask finance director.
Has to be.
Danielle got there.
So if that being the case, we have to, can we vote on the budget and then come back and amend it to do that, or we have to wait and find out if we can do that?
What I would do, if y'all are comfortable with it, I would go ahead and pass the budget as amended.
You mean amend it, take that, go ahead and plan on using that, okay,
But whatever we don't spend out of that 250 is going to go back to the fund.
Yeah.
right,
We're just,
yeah.
You want to go ahead and pass or adopt the budget as amended.
But that'll be in the motion,
Certainly,
that'll be in the motion that is amended.
That is correct.
I mean, we're still gonna show the 250 capital expenditure, it's just,
If we spend it.
right, it's just,
we're going to just do 2 or 1.
But you're saying that the amendment would be to take that money
to use
and
that
show it
money
as an expense.
and it's appropriated.
Talking about the rent reserve.
Yeah.
Right. I'll have to ask them.
Any other,
But if we pass the budget with that amendment and we find out that that's not kosher, what does that do?
Probably just pass the budget as presented,
Okay.
and then we can deal with that rent reserve.
Okay, all right.
That's different from what Ed just said.
That's right, that's a little different now.
Yeah.
If it's as adopted tonight and it changes from what y'all said, you have to come back and meet again and adopt the budget.
We can do an amendment.
Yeah.
right?
You can do an amendment then.
If you adopt
Adopt it like it is
Adopt it,
tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Next month. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, okay.
Or the month after, it don't have to be right then.
I'll be here, so y'all can, if you want it.
You can just say whatever.
Remember, Ed?
I may come back every month and honk.
any other questions for Darrell? Okay, we'll need a motion to approve the,
You got to close the public hearing first.
oh, I did that one time, I haven't done it yet.
No,
They close the public hearing portion of the meeting. I need a motion for that. Now closing the public hearing portion of the meeting. Now can I do it?
yes.
That need a motion to, for the 2026-2027 town budget. I need a motion.
One thing too, Spencer put a fee page in there, I don't know if we need to.
Yes, you need to go to adopt the fees too. That can be under separate motion. Or the
That's a
second.
separate motion.
Or the
Got
second.
it. It's all in the adoption, it all in the budget.
It's the last.
Yeah, last page of the budget.
Because it is part of the budget.
So we need to, what we're breaking down and have two motions, then we can discuss that by separate, and that be approved too, is there a problem with that? Do we have a problem with making them just do the motion for the 2026-2027 budget and come back and have a motion made to amend the fees? All right. Okay. So I have a motion.
I'll make a motion as amended.
We said,
We're not gonna do it as
Got it,
amended.
we're gonna wait.
We'll wait and amend it later. Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the budget as is.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Now we need to, this would be under Ed and Darrell, I guess, as well, as far as talk about the fee structure. You want to explain the changes and so forth?
There wasn't any, there wasn't any, that's why we just put it in the budget.
As is? Okay. I need a motion to accept the fees for the 2026-2027 budget of the town of Fairview.
I'll make a motion to accept the Fairview fee schedule as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, of the hand? That's unanimous. Okay, now so we did AD and we just voted in, right? It's done, right?
Mhm.
Okay, at that point in time, if both those are done, Okay, at this time, we will start with Patricia and council comments.
Just thought we had a great turnout this afternoon, and it's good to be honoring Ed and Teresa. Good to welcome Jim and Spencer.
No, just two things. Thanks to Ed and Spencer, Ed and Teresa for all they've done. Ed, I've learned a lot from you over the years, even though we picked at each other a lot, but you taught me a ton about how towns run and appreciate the help. And Teresa, you've been extremely helpful, keeping me in line, so I appreciate all that. Definitely miss y'all. Enjoyed working for the last, I don't know how many years now.
How long have you been on the board?
Too long. Coming towards the end. And then, of course, I know Spencer very well, so I'm excited to have her on board. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you. So thank everybody for that. The only thing I did have something else. I was in contact with the CRTPO in this last meeting. You and I talked. We had a call from the town of Collins. I forget the guy's name.
Ryan.
Yeah, I had a long conversation with him a couple times. This is huge debate about what's going on with the downtown Charlotte and the I-77 and the whole interchange. I could not get involved with it because part of the property that's being dealt with is owned by the company I work for. So, but I did have a long conversation with them. The city of Charlotte, what they actually did was turn down the state funding for the whole interchange, which is about $900 million. The city of Charlotte said, hey, we want to walk away from that. The CTRPO was trying to overturn that, but they could, unfortunately, the way the CRTPO is structured, Charlotte has a larger percentage of the votes because of the size of the town. We have one vote. Charlotte has like 40. One person votes and they get 40 points. And then Stalin gets some, and all the other towns get some. Unfortunately, the CRTPO also did the same thing. So basically what they've done is turn down almost $1 billion in funding for a whole interchange down there that desperately needs to be done in that area. But they weren't going to, they were trying to drive up the votes to get it to overturn Charlotte, but they didn't have a chance of getting it done. So.
I think too, part of it was the toll road too, that was gonna interfere with some neighborhoods, and they got really excited and put a pretty good package together against the toll roads for their particular neighborhood.
Yeah, unfortunately in that situation, the kind of way we've looked at it is that you aren't gonna get it built without a toll road. So there's not enough funding available. We do think now that we have heard that the city of Charlotte, there's several people in the city of Charlotte who voted for this. They're kind of regretting their decision because they just lost $1 billion in funding for the project. So this thing will come back around before it's over with. But we'll see where it goes from there.
The toll road, besides all you've heard about it, has been very successful.
Yeah.
Especially in North Metro. It has been very successful. Now it won't solve all the problems, but it did help some.
Yeah. So, but I was
Would
involved.
narrow it down to one lane instead of two, like Atlanta has. Atlanta has 7 lanes and 1. We have 2 and 2.
The main change that they dealt with the whole interchange up there, it's an interchange and it's a toll road running south, is what their plan was. And the big issue is that they shifted it to the west, which was impacting one of the neighborhoods. But they did make a significant change on that shift to the west. They decided to double stack the road and went up instead of Y. And so it took less of the property away, which impacted that community a lot less. But people they had their mindset, and so we'll see where it goes.
They had even thought about tunneling it underneath.
Yeah,
That was an option.
but I was involved. I represented Fairview. I did not vote because I couldn't vote because of the conflict. But it would our one vote wouldn't have mattered. They lost by a significant margin.
may be a good question that you and Jim, you as a group and Jim get together and our fee for belonging to that group is nominal a year, about what, 12, 1,400?
$1,400.
Whether we get any benefit or we'll stay a member of it, and if we do, we pay the fee and maybe appoint somebody who wants to go to the meetings as our representative. Jim seems to think right now we probably don't need to spend that much.
We get no value. I've been doing it for 5+ years. There's never been a project in this area that impacted us. So for 5 years, we paid
It won't be for some time.
$1,400. Yeah, so it's, I see limited value and we have one point. It's not even a vote, it's a point of, maybe a 100-point system. It's very minor.
Y'all discuss that later.
Yeah. That's it.
I just wanted to mention this newsletter that came out that talks about SB 1047, Regulatory Reform Act of 2026, which was, I think, voted on in committee this week, correct? Going to be voted on in committee this week. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you.
So usually what they'll do is they'll take these proposed bills, they'll send them to committees. Committees will act much like a planning board. They'll review, discuss, make recommendation. And then depending on if it was started in the Senate or the House, it'll go to whatever legislative branch that submitted it. They'll vote, then it'll go to the next branch for vote, and then that's when it becomes a bill. And at that time, then the governor has the opportunity to veto, or it's a pretty drawn out process.
So we're in the middle of this process right now. What drew my attention was this part of this is no minimum lot sizes is what they're proposing. They're going to get away from one house per acre. And I spoke to one of the Union County representatives, and he was telling me that they're trying to move from they're going to try to eliminate R40, is what he was saying, and move to a density-based system where
Jim,
they.
explain that the way you explained it to me.
And I guess you were saying that it's going from what we consider net, they're going to consider gross. So if you have some land that's not usable, like the way we got out of the last.
So the way most jurisdictions today do their density calculations is, and we'll just use a nice round number, we'll say 100 acres. They'll tell you, okay, well, out of that 100 acres, you need to figure out how much of that's going to be in right of way. So, okay, there's 10 acres in right of way. So that puts you down to 90 acres. And then if they have some type of open space or set aside rules or regulations, such as the county says, right off the bat, you got to set aside 30% of your development. So that puts you down to 60 acres. And then county says, well, if there's anything in riparian buffers, you got to discount that as well. So there's 5 more acres in riparian buffers. So now you're down to 55 acres. So now your net density out of that 100 acres is 55 housing units. What they're saying is that's not fair. So the way that you need to do it is you figure out how many housing units you're going to allow per acre. So if you're going to allow 1 housing unit per acre and you got 100 acres, then you get 100 houses. You start taking all that other stuff out there, it could be RA40, but your lot size now can be reduced to a lot less. So that's what that bill's saying there. It's taking a lot of regulatory authority away from governments, and I'm telling you, the developers have a strong arm with our General Assembly.
like, there's what
Good job.
Smoke and mirrors to get more houses.
that's exactly what it is.
Well, it gets worse, because there's another part of that bill that talks about vested rights. Today, if you go in and you rezone your property and everything, you right off the bat have a 2-year vested right. Well, now they're saying, you know what? This is forcing the developers to spend too much money up fast, way too soon. We're gonna move it to 5 years. So now it gives them 5 years to do their development. Under the vesting laws, what you can do is you can ask for, you automatically get 2 years and you can request up to 5 years. This is allowing you to get 5 years right off the bat. See, if somebody came and asked for the 5-year extension, instead of the granted 2 years by statute, the board would have to approve that. But now it's automatically given to them if this bill passes. So it's all about, hey.
So they could have a development approved and not do anything for 5 years.
Exactly.
That's vested. Their approval is vested.
Or
There's
they
all
could-
kinds of gotchas in here.
Yes.
I mean, they're just,
Well, and that's the reason why I understand that you guys all are members of the league and you get these newsletters. But when I see something and it stands out to me, I'll send it back out to you guys. Hey, this is for your information, but let's look at this a little bit closer because this might have some stuff that can concern us.
And this is the first time this has actually gone to a committee. This has been going on for a little while. Last several years, the legislature's been talking about, hey, take the rights away from the towns, let the state control the rules of the properties. And now they finally got it to where they got it to a committee.
Well, they couldn't do it all at one time. Now
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
coming back and do it in pieces.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just like when they were talking about the downzoning. So a local government cannot go in and rezone, say, a property from industrial to residential. That's considered downzoning. Unless the applicant agrees to it. And if the applicant agrees to it, then it's not a downzoning. But it takes the right for local government just to go in there and exercise that right to rezone a property without the property owner giving permission. But that's been stuck in committee since some point in 2024. And it talks about that in that newsletter as well. So for the past 10 years, it's been really scary.
Did it stay in there all perpetuity? I mean, or do they have to kick something out of committee after X number of years?
There was something else I was reading there about what was it? I can't think of right off the hand what it was, but the League of Municipalities had worked with the legislative branch and they had made these recommendations. They had folded those into the bill proposal. And then they came back on to the discussion floor with it and they removed everything that was in there. And it changed from some bill to the Wake County surf safety something, another bill. It's just some.
Tack on stuff right quick.
well, it's just like
They-
the pool cleaning thing that they tacked all that stuff on to with Stallings a couple months ago. They just start sliding it in here, sliding it in there, but just trying to, anything to get it through. And, the only thing that's stopping it is, and the reason I'm saying anything is public voices hounding your representatives about this. And the county's certainly gonna be looking at it, and we can tack on to what they are, but it certainly wouldn't hurt for all of us to pick up the phone and call or to write and to let them know how we feel about all this. So anyway, it's in your email.
Yeah, we did actually reach out to the county on the tax reform and asked them if they were going to address any of that stuff. And Brian Matthews, I called him directly. And he said, yeah, he says, it's on our radar, but, we haven't really discussed anything. He says, I got to get with our legal department, see. And also they got a lobbyist as well that works for the county. And he says, Jim, if we come up with some language and if you guys want to sign it as a town and partner with us, we'll be happy to do that. I never heard back from him.
Well, I talked to Brian Helms today, he said, basically told me they're consulting with their town council, or their town attorney today, actually, and they would let us know.
And I tell you, the town itself, whenever they would go for litigation, they would always hire an outside firm and everything. But they've let all their outside firms go, and they're actually hiring litigators that are county employees now. And so they got a whole legal department. And there's like 8 or 9 attorneys that work for the county now. And that's not including like,
Rather than the firms,
well,
they do it in-house.
they're doing everything in-house. They were, letting all that stuff out and everything. And you want to know about legal fees? I mean, for zoning violations, our legal fees were $70,000 a month for zoning violations. And that's what we're paying a month. That's what we're paying outside counsel.
So I'll come back to work for you here.
On Thursdays, because that's when you do
That's right.
legal.
On Thursday.
From 9 to 2.
Yeah.
That's it. And you get free lunch.
11 to 2.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
No, just a big thank you to both of you guys. I obviously haven't been here that long, I've known Teresa a long time, but I, like John, have learned a lot and still got a lot to learn. So good luck to you. I'm about to retire too, so I'll find out what that's like. Thanks.
The concert is Friday night at 7. Also, you may have noticed we got TVs in here. We're now high tech. So that way, next time we have a presenter, you won't have the projector and then the lights have to go off. You just can't see it. So we did get the TVs, one for the crowd and then one for you guys.
We get the big one, that's awesome.
We'll see.
Everything worked out for Friday night? If you're hoping for rain, since they're coming, it'll rain Friday night. As we don't need it that bad. Carol, anything else? Thank you for all the work on that. Teresa, any closing remarks?
Just thank you for all you've let me do. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed it. Enjoyed working with Ed.
I'm just looking forward to the journey ahead.
Do you have any final comments?
I appreciate the honor to serve.
Anybody else want to have a comment while we're still under this, before we close?
A question that just occurred to me. I know we've got this thing coming up on June 27th. What is our role?
As far as you, Bill, we don't have a role that I'm aware of.
Well, I know at some point we had voted to be supportive of that effort.
I think when it came up, the question came for me, I got contacted with the town council about if I could come up with an airplane to fly by. I'm still working on that, and we discussed maybe we want to, as a town, pay for the flyby. Well, it is so iffy as whether we're going to get one or not, so I'll put that in the back burner. If we get one, it would be at the gracious whoever has the airplane, we can find an airplane. So the answer is, unless somebody else wants to come back, do something different. That was going to be our part in the celebration. So, aware of, it's going to be on the 27th. It's going to be in Noel Williams Park. Starts at 6. We're going to have the opening ceremony, and then the chairman of the board is going to be there that night, and they're also going to have for the fear of fires and fireworks, and have a drum. So that'll be, I guess, food trucks and stuff. So that will be on the 27th. You want anything to bring up while we look at a happy family here, Ron and Lisa and Debbie?
I will add that Spencer and I both have attended the town meetings at Unionville. Spencer's been a lot more involved with Melody than I have, but we are representing the town. We'll be there that day, helping with their crew, whatever they need to do. So just know you're represented.
Thanks for doing David, what's that? Well, kind of to reiterate what else said, that, you know, we're thankful for what's been already been said about the people we have working as elected officials and the staff and all volunteers. I think it's reflected in the town itself, and I think it's also reflected more in the people that want to do things in Fairview, because they realize, you know, what we have here and how they can benefit from it, and it's more what people remember, what things used to be as we were growing up. So thanks for making that happen. But other than that, I don't have anything else to add. So with that being said, once again, come see us, keep us in the loop for us, what you're doing, and so forth and so on. If you see us doing something wrong, by all means tell us. We may not listen to you, but you can tell us.
You had it 17 years.
I know. Why start now?
No, I will watch you through that little camera.
Jim, you ready for this, man?
This could be a challenge. I'm always up for a challenge.
Just don't get us in a lawsuit over a bridge.
I knew that was
That's just retirement legacy.
Don't do that anymore.
That being said, I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. Second. All in favor, with the hand. Adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks, Ed.
You gotta take that thing home.
So I need to
You need
sign.
to sign that, yep.
You gotta bang that gavel and cheer.
Yeah.
my pleasure.
It has been, yes, sir.
Spencer, have you got your oath? Did you sign your oath? Well, I have to fill it out.
Yeah.
I fill out two things for you. Thank you.
Okay.
I needed something to do right there.
Hey, send us your,
Never cut this thing off though.
your email's gonna go away, right? What about your phone? Your phone section?
I emailed you the whole time.